天我娃娃死了，连纸都没烧一张，跑哪去了？你作为一个母亲嘛，你说你是母亲，按着他去了吗？我最多给他1万块钱，多了我不得说，谈都给他。
最多给1万。
哦，
最少20万。
The two people quarreling endlessly in front of the camera are a pair of ex-spouses. This year, Lao Chun, in his 50s, and his ex-wife Ms. Su had a son together. The two divorced as early as 24 years ago, and during these years they had no contact at all. Some time ago, Lao Chen's son unfortunately died in a car accident. Through negotiations with the driver at fault and the insurance company, Lao Chen received a total of 450,000 yuan in death compensation. But before he could recover from the pain of losing his son, he received a court summons. The one who sued him was none other than his long-lost ex-wife Ms. Su. What she asked for was to split this 450,000 yuan in compensation. So what exactly is going on here? What is Ms. Su's true purpose?
当时听到我说是我在成都去那儿嘛的时候，你可能1-2个月工都没打嘛，我一直都回来休息嘛，那时候我是受了好多气了，是我回来了。
Recalling the situation on the day his son Xiao Chun had the accident, Lao Chen's face was full of mixed emotions. He told us that he had originally been working away from home, and when he received the notice of his son's death, he could not withstand the blow and fainted on the spot. After waking up, he hurried back to his hometown, but what awaited him was only his son's cold body. The pain of white-haired parents burying a black-haired child left him devastated, unable to eat or drink. In just 1 month, he lost dozens of jin in weight. But compared to the loss of his son, what made him even more angry was the unreasonable behavior of his ex-wife Ms. Su. When their son Xiao Chun was 1 year old, the couple had already divorced by agreement. The son was awarded to Lao Chun, but because he had to work outside, the child was raised by his grandparents since childhood. For 24 years the ex-wife never cared about the child, and now she has no qualification at all to come and claim a share of the compensation.
他也没承担一点义务，这么多年也没回来，也没给我们拿一分钱过来，也没买个菜，也没咋子。
那他妈妈也是你们村上的人吗？
可能这到这儿吧，肯定20来里路吧。有时候估计他回来看他父母，估计都没到这边来过，就是。
Lao Chen said, from the time of divorce until now, his ex-wife never once came home to visit the child, never paid even a cent of child support, and never even made a phone call to the son. These years he raised the child all by himself, and life was extremely difficult. Because his ability was limited, even if he worked from morning to night, he still could not meet the expenses of the household. With no other choice, he could only borrow money from relatives and friends to maintain life. After much difficulty piecing things together, he finally managed to raise his son to adulthood and even send him to university. Now this tragedy happened, and it was truly unbearable for him. After the accident, he even notified his ex-wife, asking her to come and attend the funeral, but her actions went beyond his expectations.
但是在殡仪馆安葬上、火化啥事他都没来，都没到场，连回家来葬娃娃，他家里面连个代表都没得。
Lao Chen never imagined that his ex-wife could be so cold and heartless, not even coming to attend their son's funeral. He felt that even if the ex-wife had some other matter and could not come, she should have entrusted some family member or friend to show up. But from beginning to end, none of the ex-wife's family members appeared. Later, after the compensation money for the car accident came down, the ex-wife suddenly showed up, and even sued him in court demanding a share. In his view, Ms. Su as a mother had shirked her responsibilities, never fulfilled her obligation of raising the child, and now demanding compensation money was pure unreasonable troublemaking. So, was what Lao Chen said really true? And why exactly was Ms. Su so cold toward her son?
一个母亲连自己儿子最后一面都没见到，那你算啥母亲呢？要钱就回来了，对不对？确实是太过分了，真的。
我打了官司，我就不分一分钱我都不得拿的。
The mother abandoned her husband and son and left for 24 years. After learning that her son died in a car accident and that 450,000 yuan was paid as compensation, she immediately came home to sue for a share of the property, and even declared that not a penny less than 200,000 yuan would do. Lao Chen's family all believed that in the past Ms. Su never cared about the child, cut off contact, disappeared for 24 years, and was fundamentally not a qualified mother, and now had no right to come back asking for compensation. They were also unwilling to compromise like this, and decided to fight Ms. Su to the end. Soon the day of the trial arrived. The local circuit court came to the village to publicly hear this case, and the surroundings were crowded with villagers watching. At the negotiation table, the defendant Lao Chen's side first expressed their view.
无论是基于道德，还是基于法律，还是伦理，我们认为，原告方要求分割赔偿款45万元，所谓的共有物，这是没有事实依据。
Lao Chen and his agent lawyer believed that after the accident, the funeral arrangements for the son were all organized by the Chun family. When negotiating compensation with the insurance company and the driver at fault, all the documents provided were from Lao Chun. During this period, the mother Ms. Su never cared, nor did she contribute any effort or resources. Both emotionally and logically, this compensation should belong to the Chun family. Ms. Su had no reason to get this money. Hearing this, Ms. Su immediately couldn't sit still and quickly refuted.
当时为什么徐金荣没有在谈这个赔偿的时候没有在现场？因为他当时身患糖尿病非常严重，回昆明去就医了。
Ms. Su stated that although she missed both the funeral and the negotiations, she had unavoidable difficulties. At that time, she was suffering from very serious diabetes, and was receiving treatment in the hospital, so she was simply unable to attend her son's funeral. In her view, even though she had not raised her son much these years, he was still her biological child. The mother-son relationship was an undeniable fact, therefore she also had the right to the compensation. Hearing his ex-wife's words, Lao Chen immediately became furious. He angrily accused his ex-wife, "Since you knew you still had a son, then why did you abandon him all these years?" He believed that Ms. Su was relying only on her identity as the mother to demand a share of the compensation, which was nothing but wishful thinking.
仅基于母亲的身份要求进行平均分割，这本身就是对死者的一种不尊重，对死者亲属的一种不尊重。
In the view of Lao Chen and his agent lawyer, Ms. Su was absent during the important stages of their son's growth. She knew nothing about his going to university, joining the army, marriage, having children, etc. For 24 years she never once contacted her son. As a mother, she never fulfilled any parenting obligations. Now coming back to ask for compensation was truly shameless. In response, Ms. Su argued that she had seen her son a few times before, and had also given some child support. But when Lao Chen asked her to provide evidence, she stammered and could not say clearly. Even so, she still insisted that she had the right to the compensation, demanding Lao Chen give her at least 200,000 yuan. So, would Lao Chen agree to this? How should this conflict ultimately be resolved?
没得资格，还凭啥资格啊？因为他是赔给我的，不是赔给他的，他也没承担一点义务，这么多年也没回来，也没给我们拿一分钱过来，也没买个菜也没做成。
The mother abandoned her 1-year-old son and left for 24 years. Now, after hearing her son died in a car accident and 450,000 yuan was paid as compensation, she came back to sue her ex-husband for a share, and even declared not a penny less than 200,000 yuan. Lao Chen said, if in the past his ex-wife had cared more about the child, had come back more often to see the child, then regarding this matter of sharing money, he would not have objected. But his ex-wife's behavior had already disappointed him completely, so naturally he could not agree. Moreover, now there was not much left of the compensation money, and he simply could not come up with 200,000 yuan.
他爷爷住院，用了好像是36000多块钱住院。上账的时候要按这个老人，大概用了接近3万块。
Lao Chen told reporters, at the time of holding the funeral for his son, it had already cost nearly 50,000 yuan. Later, the child's grandfather, unable to withstand the blow, fell ill. In order to treat the old man, 40,000 yuan was used, but unfortunately the old man still did not survive and passed away. The subsequent funeral expenses also cost 50,000 yuan. Apart from these, the son still had some debts during his lifetime, which he also repaid with the compensation. In this back and forth, the original 450,000 yuan compensation now had less than 50,000 yuan remaining. His ex-wife's demand for 200,000 yuan was simply a fantasy. To prove that his words were not false, Lao Chen also invited a witness.
他是分2次结的，那个最后在17年的6月翻了，
是谁？
陈志德翻的。
The witness stated that indeed during his lifetime Xiao Chun had borrowed money from him twice, totaling about 200,000 yuan, probably for buying a car or a house. Later, after Xiao Chun had the accident, it was his father Lao Chun who repaid it. Both father and son had very good character, and he also knew that Lao Chun really did not have money now. As for Miss Su's behavior these years, the local villagers had always seen it clearly. They all believed that Miss Su never fulfilled her responsibility toward the child, and now should not be making a fuss about dividing compensation. They also jointly submitted a written document proving that Miss Su indeed ignored the child. Faced with everyone's accusations, Miss Su was speechless, but still refused to give up. Seeing this situation, the judge suggested both sides attempt mediation outside of court. Both Lao Chen and Miss Su agreed to this. So, what was the final result? Could Miss Su get the compensation?
人家我娃娃死了，连纸都没烧一张，跑哪去了？你作为一个母亲嘛，你说你是母亲，按着他去了吗？我最多给他1万块钱，多了我不得收，盘都不在。最多给1万。哦，
至少20万。
At the scene of out-of-court negotiation, Lao Chun said that now there was not much compensation left, he was only willing to take out at most 10,000 yuan for Miss Su. But Miss Su believed that she only had this one son, and with the son gone there was no one to support her in old age. Now she also had diabetes, which required money for treatment. Therefore, no matter how much compensation was left, Lao Chen must give her half based on the original 450,000 yuan. The two sides argued endlessly over this, and in the end the mediation failed. Finally, Miss Su stated she would continue to appeal, vowing to definitely take back her half of the compensation.
The son is already left, and this 450,000 yuan compensation should have been used to comfort the family's grief. But the mother, who never once fulfilled her obligation of raising him during 24 years, suddenly appeared after his death demanding 200,000 yuan, not a penny less. Is this really reasonable? Some say a mother's identity cannot be erased. Blood ties mean rights. But others believe that without responsibility, there should be no talk of rights, especially when it was a child you yourself abandoned. Lao Chun raised his son through bitter hardship, and now has lost both his son and money, and is still chased by his ex-wife for money, which is truly chilling. Do you think such a mother should get a share of the compensation? Does she really have the right? Please leave your thoughts in the comments. I look forward to hearing your voice. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next one.